Welcome to Relational Effectiveness. My name is John Hoerauf. I'm sitting in for my wife, Lynn Hoerauf. And today we're going to start talking about finding your authentic motivation. And I want to start by thanking the Strategic Advisory Board for hosting this video. Now, in the past videos, we've talked about different types of motivation. We've talked about how motivation works. We ended up looking at the motivation that can get in the way of, the toxic motivations that get in the way of doing the things that you really want to do and accomplish. And in the last video, I looked at the automatic thoughts that come and encouraged you to kind of keep track of them so that you could have a list of things to work with that you can then apply truth to. Because really what we're looking at here, as you get down to the bottom line of this, we're going beyond our desires, we're going beyond our willpower, and we're getting down to our identity. And the key of this is the way that you see yourself will determine how you act in the long run. You can't act contrary to your beliefs about your identity for very long. You can for a while, but not for very long. So we need to restructure our identity, at least how we see our identity. And authentic motivations aren't necessarily the desires that we think we should have or the desires that we want to have. Your authentic motivation is really based more on who you really are. And your authentic motivation comes from, you can kind of get inklings of it if you think of the passions that you have inside. If you think of the hobbies that you used to have, the things that you did as a kid, the things that you dreamed about. Authentic motivations are those deep knowings that are inside, that you just know you were meant for something. It might be when people approach you about something and they come and they ask your advice about certain things, or they're always coming to you regarding certain kinds of things, and you see patterns, and it's kind of like the world is talking to you about that. It might be the kind of things that you take for granted that you're really good at, and other people acknowledge that, but for you it doesn't seem like much. It might be that you have these desires and these passions, but you don't see any way that you could actually make a living at it. So then you discount it. I want you to set that aside for now. Obviously, you need to make a living. And I would like you to be able to make a really good living, to have the kinds of things that you want, the money to be secure and to buy the things that you need. But for now, set that aside and just try and tap into what that motivation really is. And as you do that, then you can look at ways that motivations have a way of kind of making room for themselves, and they'll create avenues for you to earn income doing it. So put that aside for now. But when you think about those automatic thoughts that come, and look at the list, if you didn't do it, I really encourage you to make that list and pay attention to those thoughts. What you need to do with those is counter them with truth. You may have thoughts that I'm not good enough to be this thing that I'd like to be. I really know that I want this, but that's just not for me. You maybe have those voices that tell you the names that you were given, that you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, you're not good looking enough. You're the kind of person that just always makes mistakes. You don't have it in you. So what you need to do is counter those. And for you, finding truth it depends on where you look for that. For me, I look to what God says about me. And if I'm not sure and I don't know that automatically, I need to find out what he says about me. So you can go through the Bible and you can find verses that talk contrary to those automatic thoughts. If you feel like you're unloved and you see there that you are loved, then you can use that and say, wait a second, that thought, even though it feels real, that thought is a lie. And you can do these kinds of things as you're working through some of these automatic negative thoughts that you have. You might look to people that you know and ask them what they think about you. If it's somebody that you really trust, look to things that you've accomplished in the past and realize, wait, I have accomplished things. I'm not a loser at everything I try. There are things, if I set my mind to it, I can change and grow. And as you do that, you begin to chip away at some of these automatic thoughts. And so that's what you can start doing with that list that you have. And what I'm going to do in the next session is start talking a little bit more as if this was a workshop again, we're going to look a little bit more at some of the things that you can use to counteract those and some examples of how to do that. So in the meantime, just keep working through that list, and I'll see you next time. Have a great day.